Hello, my name is Jake Lincoln with Cloacina. We're going to be doing a tour of the Mempac M300-200 today. We'll start the tour off at the headworks and we'll go through the process as the water flows. This is the 2mm microbar screen from Ortec. This particular screen is a redundant microbar screen. However, we do have the ability to incorporate different style screens or even different screen manufacturers depending on preference, maybe from the operations team, for an example. This screen also has a washer and compactor as well, so the screened solids will be washed and compacted and discharged directly off the side of this unit into a dumpster or trash receptacle. This particular project is set up for future expansion. So this is actually equalization in phase 1 and will be future anoxic process in phase 2. The future process tanks will flow directly into the anoxic chamber and will overflow through an overflow trough into the next process. Let's go take a look at the overflow troughs. The overflow troughs is a new design for Cloacina. This is something that we incorporated into our latest edition of the Mempac models. This particular design allows the system to overflow from one tank or process to the next, and that allows for the operator to have the ability to drop a slide gate into the particular overflow trough, isolate a process or chamber, and be able to drain that tank individually. Again, this particular arrangement is an equalization at the moment, and so we've actually provided equalization pumps on slide rail systems here to be transferring the equalization to the process. So that's all provided by Cloacina as an option, and again, all outfitted for future process when the development is ready for expansion. The next process will be the aeration process. In the aeration process, we'll be providing stainless steel headers with polysiloxane diffusers from OTT. This will be a suspended growth process. So we are measuring dissolved oxygen in our DO probes that are all integrated into the control panel, and also control the blowers to ensure that we are providing the sufficient amount of oxygen for this chamber. On to the next process, we'll again overflow through the overflow channels into the forward activated sludge chamber or FAS chamber. The chamber has an individual dedicated FAS pump on a slide rail system, and with the slide rail system we'll provide a davit crane so that the operator can hoist the pump out of operation and spec for routine maintenance and be able to easily drop it back down and not need a team of operators to require that removal process. So we do have a particular mixed liquor probe in this chamber. In this chamber we have the ability to pull this probe up through our slide rail system, lock the probe in place, do any calibrations that are necessary, and then drop that probe right back into the same location. The individual FAS pumps will forward pump to the membranes. In this particular project, we are using Z-Weed 500D cassettes, and we will populate modules sufficient for phase 1 and have additional modules available for phase 2. From the membranes, we will permeate into the clear well chamber. The clear well chamber will be sufficiently sized to allow for clean in place on the membranes. From the membranes, we'll overflow into our pre-anoxic or RAS collection chamber, and then that particular chamber will underflow back to the individual sides of the plant, 2 membranes being dedicated to one side and 2 membranes being dedicated to the other side. So as we walk into the equipment skid, you'll notice it's really easy to access. You'll notice the conduit lines are up and above, so they're out of the way. The permeate pumps are on a stand and allow for the operator to access the internals with ease. We are doing things like putting in sampling ports for necessary monitoring and sampling requirements. And then you'll also notice that everything is provided a laser etched tag, and this Cloacina tag number corresponds to not only the P&IDs, but also the control panel. All right, and this will be our NEMA 4X control panel provided by Rockwell Automation. As I mentioned, this control panel will have the corresponding Cloacina tag numbers on the HOAs, so it's very clear to the operator which HOA goes to which piece of equipment. This is a double blank control panel so that the operator doesn't need to access the internals of the control panel, which is required to have a licensed electrician. This control panel has a solid state drive and battery backup. In the instance of a power outage, we would still be able to send out all of our normal alarms and be able to notify the necessary personnel. In addition to our base package, we offer a variety of options, one of those options being the sound attenuated blower room. For those clients who are conscious about noise, we can enclose the space in between the two tanks to allow for attenuation of sound. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you watching our tour. Please visit the website for more information.